that.
That she went away and then she didn't come back.
No, I got her tell her that she would say, I'm leaving you. And then she wouldn't. And she did that for 3 years. I'm leaving you. So finally I said, for God's sake, don't say anything anymore. Just go.
Yep.
So, and she's a nice lady.
I know, they can drive you crazy. Okay.
And I saw her last week or the week before, and she started talking to me. And I could see her getting angry. She was talking to her, and she was saying that I got over it. I'm not angry with you anymore.
Right.
And so I waited. And she looked at me, and I looked at her, and she went, maybe I need to work on it a bit more.
It's really sad. My second wife was a Brit.
Oh, yeah.
And we actually met when I was married to my first wife. I didn't get married until I was 40. And my first wife was 16 years older than me. 15. She just turned 82 at the end of April. Okay. There we go.
Yeah, my wife is 11 years younger than I am.
Yes, I noticed the difference. But let's see, it's her daughter that is with you?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have kids?
My stepdaughter. I have 3 of my own.
Ah. How do they get along with each other?
They get along fine. Well, yeah, they get along with each other. My son doesn't talk to me anymore.
Yeah.
And that happened around the time that I married Pearl.
The myths that they try to hold on to.
Well, I tried to talk to him, and he goes, I'm mad at you because you didn't love me the way you should have. What's that mean? I said,
That means that he needs to learn compassion and forgiveness. That's what that means. Well, how old are you, Russ?
64.
You're 2 years younger than me. I'll be 67 in December. Wow. And when did Parkinson's start coming?
About 6 or 7 years ago.
Uh-huh.
That, because I deal with it all the time, right?
Yeah.
I was doing testing and I was talking to the neurologist about it. You know, I'm finding that I have some diagnostic
Markers? Indicators? Yeah.
indicators that I have Parkinson's. He says, yeah, I've seen it for about 2 years. I've watched it for about 2 years because I've noticed that you've got Parkinson's.
Well, what's your background? Which was your job?
I was a neurophysiologist.
Neurophysiology.
Neurophysiology.
Like Joyce Bolt Taylor or something like that, who you may not know who she is. She suffered a stroke that affected the left side of her brain, but her consciousness shifted from the right side to the left side. And while the stroke was occurring, and she remembered what was going on, and then when she was on the right side of her brain, it was like everything was wonderful. You know, there was no time passing. And then when she was on the left side of her brain, she got confused about words, but she could write some stuff down. And then she decided, I think she was like a PhD or an MD, I'm not sure which, in one of the Boston universities, one of the biggies. And I saw her on a thing called TED. They've got incredible speakers in a wide variety of areas. They put videos up all the time.
Right.
And then I thought, wow, this is interesting, because what she was describing, the spiritual aspect, was right on target. Because I've been into spiritual stuff for a long time. And, but then I asked her some questions. She said, buy my book. And so at that stage of the game, I know she's not quite all there yet. Same thing happened. There was a guy named Eben Alexander, and he's a neurophysician, brain surgeon. But he was at Harvard for 15 years, so when you're in a place like that, you're also a neuroscientist because you're doing research.
That's right.
At the same time. And he got E. coli meningitis.
Oh.
And from his description, and he was at, he and his wife moved back to the Carolinas, I think North Carolina or Virginia, when they had kids, because they didn't want to raise their kids in the city, big city. And they were both from the area. And the way he described it, that E. coli meningitis eats away the cerebral cortex. And he was in a coma, like he went into a coma on Sunday, and Friday they were talking about pulling the plug on him because the guy was a really bright guy and associated with other bright guys, and if he came back they figured he'd be a vegetable. It was what the meningitis would be doing to his brain. And Saturday morning, as we were getting ready to pull the plug, he came out of it with diminished memory of his professional skills. It took him about 3 to 6 months to get back to his professional skills. But he had a near-death experience, which was unlike any near-death experience I've read about. Because in a lot of them, people meet their relatives, that have passed on. He did, but he didn't realize it while it was happening. He met a sister that had died, that he never knew when she was alive. But he didn't know it was his sister until after, and then he entered this space where he didn't have human language. So he was asking questions and he had a very difficult time describing what his experiences were in the book that he wrote. And that was one of the complaints, because all these people wanted to know, about, do I survive after death? And they want to be just like they are right now. I mean, healthy body, but all that kind of junk. Oh, this is on video. Okay. My netting came in yesterday, so hopefully today, after we finish this afternoon, I'll get the PVC pipe I need to build another one of these, and then I'll have 2 side ball traps, one for each side, and that's for practicing serves to go off the side of the table. Okay, let me show you some stuff. You can, here, because you'll be serving as well. And, we'll pick them up like we do, but I'll give you the basic actions. Oh, and by the way, I didn't even know that you had Parkinson's, because I couldn't see you shaking or anything at all, which is one of the indicators, but Andras did. And I'm going like, even after, I think you may have been up in the restroom or the bathroom when we talked, he and I. You came back, I still couldn't see any of it. So, now your serve was almost legal. You weren't tossing it up really, but you were going from a palm, and you were raising your hand up, and then you were dropping it. It's just a timing issue. The serves that you're doing, oh, you don't have any pockets.
No.
Just keep one ball in your hand, because in practicing serves, you only want to have one ball in the hand when you're practicing serves. So I'll feed you balls if we need it, or we can pick them up. Okay. Well, you know the old saying, England swings like a pendulum too, Bobby's on bicycle 2x2. And then we come to America, and we get, hey-ya, homate, 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 tomahawk. So, now the easiest serve that I know of is the pendulum serve from the backhand. And once you get the feeling of that, then the forehand. So, let me serve a couple to you. You can catch the balls, and then you'll give them back to me. But the thing I really want you to notice is, okay, my feet are going to be either like this, or I'll have this foot a little way back. So that's the angle of the foot. Here, give me the ball. I don't want you to have to worry about that or concern yourself about that at all. Okay. With that, the ball is basically here. It's in my line of sight.
Right.
Now, forget for the moment that I'm left-handed and think of this as a mirror image.
Right.
So if I'm standing over here for the backhand serve, you would be standing in the same place for the backhand serve, as a general rule. But you can stand anywhere you want. It's just that if you stand over here and do a backhand, and the other person hits it here, you're, as they say in the trade, SOL, unless you're ambidextrous. And that's why people will stand here, because then they've got their forehand with one step, and if the person returns it short, they've got one step to their backhand. And with this, you toss it up and it's in your line of sight. Notice where my racket is. My racket's back here. You know, I can put my fingers in my elbow notch. The racket's outside of it. You've got your racket like here. I've got my racket here. The reason I have my racket here is because I'm going to swing like this. You know, the hand's going to go down, and I'm going to pendulum. So watch what happens when okay, you can try it. Dry ball it. Put your hand like this, because you're holding the ball out, okay? And then drop, toss the ball and drop your hand away. That's it. Now, watch when I do it. You got it. Okay? And I'll keep on doing it. Now, if it's easier for you to watch the stroke and let the ball go, then let the ball go. Because the thing I want you to do is I want you to see how I'm doing the stroke. Okay? Now, what you did, do that one more time for me, please. You're coming forward instead of under.
Right.
Yeah, and if you go under and forward, see the stroke will, okay, here's the catch. If you're going far forward, you don't have to put as much oomph on it when you hit the ball, because your forward momentum carries across. Okay? But if you're not going as far forward, then when you hit the ball, you've got to put more oomph on it.
Oh.
So it's kind of like, but come under it this time. That's the reason I have the stripe on here, is because I saw the side spin you put on that. And that's important, because that's what you should be getting on it. Like, notice the spin, and I'm doing this sort of slowly so that we can see the spin. Side spin. Again, you chop down on it instead of pendulum. It's a pendulum through the ball. Pendulum stroke through the ball. And going through the ball, your forward momentum will carry it across the net. Okay? Okay, here's the problem you had with that one. You started with your racket over here. I'm starting with my racket here so that I'm in position. Now the thing is that you can hit your racket, but at the same time that I'm tossing the ball, I'm lifting my racket. This is just to settle me in the known position. And then I lift my arm up. So you know you're in position when your fingers are on your arm, then you lift your arm up a little bit, then you toss the ball and you swing through. That's still good. You know, you're yeah. Okay. Again through the ball. It'll be with side spin. That's fine. Okay, you switched your position. Sorry about this. Unknown caller. Hello? No, he hung up. Okay. Here's what's happening. Oh. I didn't hang up though. Here's what's happening. You're lacking the confidence because you don't have the experience. You're lacking the confidence that the ball will go forward. So you're hitting it there. If instead of that, you just imagine the trajectory that you want the ball to go in. And when you contact the ball, your racket is going in that trajectory in a pendulum motion. So when you're hitting it, it's like you're hitting it down there, your racket's in this position, but and when you go over to the side, then you're putting the side spin on. But notice when I hit it, I'm hitting it and my racket's basically in that and pointing towards there. But see, I'm standing over about a foot to the right of where you're standing, so if you were to do this, it should hit around in here. Okay? And that's where it hit, because you did the serve perfectly. And you moved over a foot, and so that's here, I'm over here, and it's going down there. Now, you're doing really well. I'm going to give the ball to you for you to serve, but I'm going to serve it back to you the same way that we're talking about, instead of just tossing it over the net to you, so that you get a chance to look at the serve each time that I return the ball to you. Okay? No. This is for you to serve.
Oh, okay.
So, but if you notice my arm motion, when I return the ball to you, that's basically the serve that you're going to be doing. You're still a little jerky.
Yeah.
Watch how smooth that is. Watch how smooth when I return the ball to you. Again, lack of trust, you went like that. Which isn't a bad serve. It's just not the serve that I'm going for. That's okay. We've got all day. Well, we've got 2.5 to 3 hours. That had it. Now, see the black ring? Stripe? Okay? Underspin, overspin, side spin, underside, side under, side over, overside. So 1, 2, and this is side. So it's like notches on a wheel. Under, underside, side under, side, side over, overside, over. Now the reason that I'm mentioning that is that from this basic stroke you can do all of those. Okay? You start out the same way, but for topspin, I come through like that. which puts top spin on. For bottom spin, I come through like that. For bottom under, I come through like that and then pull. For side under, I side and then I under it. For side, I just come through and side it. Okay? For side top, I side it and then I come out with top. For top side, I top it, then I come out with side. And for top, I just top it. Now, all that sounds maybe confusing, but the catch is that it all goes back to this.
Yeah.
Under. I come under the ball. Under side. Under and out with side. In with under, out with side. Side under. In with side, out with under. Side. In and out with side. Side top. In with side, out with top. Top side. In with top, out with side. Top. In with top, out with top.
So it's very,
It's an orderly thing. But what this is, the order here is really you as the author of the serve, what you feel comfortable with. And remember, I've been doing the serve for a long time. So I feel fairly comfortable, but I haven't played the caliber of player where I've got to really put stuff on it. But I'll give you an idea. This is, I'm going to move over because I want to be where I would normally be. Normally you would be standing here to receive. As a right-hander, if we were both right-handers, I would be standing here, you would be standing there in your backhand court so that you can go over and pick up the cross court or the down the line since you're a right-hander, the cross court if you're to your backhand, and then here you can pick up the backhands. So, but you're standing, so you should be standing about here to receive.
here,
No, mirror image.
here.
Right, because I went left-handed. And see, you've got that hole, and then if you go forward, you can see that you're there, and you're there. You've got the entire court covered. The worst place is right in here, the no-go zone, where you've got to decide, are you going to hit it forehand, or you're going to hit it backhand. And that's the place where...
Because we play double so much,
Uh-huh.
it makes it more difficult because you have to have room for your partner to get the...
That's why the favorite combination of doubles people in tennis and in table.
And as time goes on, you could
Well,
pick up more and more.
this serve, no, I've got to go over here and because I can't see as well over there. And it looks good, but I want to get I think that'll do. Now, let's see how much we've got of you. Most of it. Well, the pendulum serve from the backhand is one of the easiest serves I know to get into a stronger serving. So let me give you some serves and you'll see. This is pendulum chop.
So what do you want me to do with these?
Just watch it and return it. Or, hit the ball back. You can serve it back to me if you want. That's it. This is, I'm going to try underside. Yeah, that was a little bit overside. I'll show you overside. That was more side than it was over. That was side over. Now this is going to be top spin. That was top side, actually. Because that's basically top spin. but it was more topside. Okay.
I don't want to do it. I would like to do it.
Well, there's another thing. If you'll notice
I'm chopping.
that I'm getting the ball in line of sight for the right eye, but since I have two eyes, and it's close to me, you had the ball out here when you hit it. So, and you can see that I've got my arm slightly angled to bring the ball in, and then I toss, and I didn't toss very high that time. Yeah, except you're still not confident about swinging through. And you don't move your racket stays the same position with respect to your wrist. It's your arm that's putting the spin on it, your arm motion. And that you went forward.
You want that really tight.
I want you to stroke through it with your arm. Believe that going forward with your arm, is going to put the forward momentum on. Like, watch this. See what I did? I exaggerated it. Look at the position of okay, go through it. Now look at the position of your racket and look at the position of mine. Yeah, see?
I go down. Going up.
That's okay, because you go down, it will put more under on. When I go up, it puts up on. I've got to go down to put the under on. The one serve you did before that, where you went through and you went down, that was a perfect example of one in this class of serves. And you notice I use the phrase class of serves, because that's what we're learning. We're learning a class of serves. And when you get one in that class down, then the others become easier. So, for example, that was underside. Let's not worry about it. That is more side. Okay? And then that's more side top. So, but it's still a continuous stroke. Look where I ended. For that, which was basically top. I'll do it one more time. I ended here. Now I'm exaggerating the stroke somewhat because I want you to see it. And I'm not doing it fast. But when I hit it, I'm turning the racket so that the ball is kind of like going off this. Instead of going off like this, with my arm is turning. My whole arm is turning, and my elbow is going up. Notice where my elbow is going? My elbow is going up and towards my head. If I could touch my elbow to my ear, that's what I'm trying to do with the topspin. So my elbow's going up, and the racket's going forward to put the topspin on. Let me demonstrate it. Don't bother about catching this. See? The elbow went up, and the racket ended up over my head. Okay, go ahead. This is a top side or a top spin serve. We're not going to worry about that kind of stuff. The timing's fine. Where'd your racket end up? And that's because the confidence of doing it. And that's why I said when you can get one in the class down, and the easiest one to get down is the side spin. Because you're just, okay, this pendulum is a pull serve. It's a pull serve because you're pulling across. You pull it. That was the magic word. The tomahawk is a push serve. You're pushing.
Right.
You're pushing away. Now, the top spin one, you're pulling and then you're pushing a little bit. You're pulling up and pushing at the end. So it's like a convex where you pull, push. You've got the side. Those are two nice side spin serves. So let's just continue on with that. That was beautiful. That was absolutely perfect. You stroked through it. You didn't try to push the ball with your racket to get it across. You let your stroke carry it across. I'd like to see another one of those, Russ. Again, that was absolutely right. Okay. That one, what happened?
I chopped at it.
And you stopped the stroke. You didn't have, and the chop serve is like this. I stand a little bit further away because I don't want to mark up my baby. And the chop serve, so I've got to come at it over the table. And see, I came down and I went through. But notice where I started. I started with my racket in this position, because if you start with the racket in this position, I keep missing the ball, so does Eli. So I start the same position, and then when I go to contact it, I move into the chop position for it. Now, you wanted to do the chop one right there.
No, not necessarily.
Okay, because if you get the feel of the side spin serve, and it's strong, so that you know it, you know that feeling, then my theory is, and it's just a theory for me, but it seems to work for me, and that is that once I have that feeling, I just change it a little bit, and I change the serve. And the focus that we have right now is serving to the same place over and over again to take out remove the variable of the sideways direction. Okay? But if I want to serve there, all I do, I keep my racket, my hand the same. I change my angle of my forearm. So if I want to serve here, straight ahead, normally you would be over there. That serves straight ahead. My racket is like that. I want to serve over there. I move my elbow forward and then do that. If I want to serve over there, my elbow comes back. So straight ahead, elbow here, to that side, elbow forward, to this side, to the other side, elbow back. Because I want to keep the relationship between the ball and the racket the same. The ball is facing, the face of the blade is facing the direction where I'm serving. Now, that's at the simplest level of this serve. At another level, then you can start bending your wrist. But that's another level. If you get this level down, keeping the face of the racket stationary regardless of where you're going to hit it and just moving your elbow, I think you'll have an easier time.
We had one guy that he comes from another town, but he's close by, and he'll hit it and he'll go like this, and it'll just go tip, tip on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
And just lots of underspin, very close to the net.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons why building the netting came in yesterday afternoon. Because this serve, the side spin serve, can evolve into a ball that comes in like this and then goes off like that. And I can't practice that with the robot because the robot has side nets, so I can use it for the back, but I've got to have two of those, one on each side, to practice serving to either side. But I'll give you an idea. This one we haven't talked about. we've been doing side like that. Here's side like this. Okay? And I haven't practiced this too much, but I think we get the idea. You see that side? That was, and let me do it again. And I'm putting it on underneath. Yeah, now you started differently. I'm starting over here. And what I don't have now is I have to move my arm forward, like I was telling you with yours. I have to move it forward, but I don't have the sequencing right yet. But and on the forehand, let's see. Okay. What I'm interested in, and if you can come 2 more times or 3 times, then we can work on serves for part of the thing. And there's a pretty good chance, because this is such you've got the serve. You've got the side spin serve. You know, you're doing it. So the thing is to practice it and get it to where you can do it without even thinking about it, to where it's kind of instinctive.
That's right.
Right, so, and your serve so far, I'll show you your serve. That's kind of like your serves, only some of your serves are higher, which means that, yeah, show me your normal forehand serve, a good forehand serve.
Then I don't do that one anymore.
Excuse me?
Then I don't do that one anymore.
Right, and so what do you do next? Okay, so now what do you do next? Okay, you got me once. Because what let's see, if I do it over to your forehand, I can do it to your forehand. That's something that, one of the things I really liked about your game, you had the straight, quick on the backhand, and you had the same thing on the forehand. And then when we were playing games, and I watched you with Andras, you didn't use it.
No, what happens is that because of the medication I take with the Parkinson, I am really good at the beginning, and then it starts to go away. And my coordination starts to go away. So I've got really good for the first maybe 2 sets or 3 sets, and then it's like.
Okay. May we talk about that? Because I don't have Parkinson's, but I do have a nicotine carcinogenic endurance effect.
You know it's going to kill you,
Actually, I'm planning to commit suicide, but I'm using milk. I figure, you know, a few glasses a week, maybe in 20 or 30 years I'll die. Yeah. And I'll be 67 this year. Mother lived to be 68. Father lived to be 35, killed in the auto accident. If I make it past mother, I'm satisfied. Doesn't matter to me. It only matters to people that, it's not the dead, it's the living that are impacted.
Well, I had one patient that went through and she was missing a leg, and I asked her, what happened to your leg? I said, no, direct result of smoking.
What is smoking?
She lost her leg because of smoking.
Oh,
But,
wow. So were you a physician? Or?
No, I was a technologist.
Okay, yeah.
I do diagnostic technology.
So you would have been using some high-tech equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's an incredible amount of stuff going on. I read, a friend of mine had a book, a friend of mine reads a lot of diverse stuff, and she was reading a book on the plasticity of the brain, and the people that they used for plasticity were basically people that were in accidents and stroke victims. And one of the things they found out was because, in the 50s they figured that the structure of the brain is set. Well, that isn't true. And what they found was, and I saw the book, I got the book she had, and then I got 3 other books. and most of them were written by neurosurgeons. What they found is that if a person has a stroke and they've lost the use of their left arm, if they bind the right arm right away, if they wait and do this, it doesn't work. If they bind the right arm, the brain will discover new pathways for movement of the arm.
That's right.
And
It builds a new whole new set of pathways.
yeah.
They found that with the back as well. That it had some success with building back and swelling and creating new pathways.
Are you retired now?
I'm actually on long-term disability
Ah.
until the end of next year.
And then what happened?
Then I get retired.
Okay, 65.
65 and a half to retire.
Yeah. Okay.
Then I have to wait for my wife. She's got another year after that, and then she retires.
Wow. What does your wife do?
She's a receptionist, clerk, does everything.
Okay. Yeah.
She was in my same department I was in, so she was really my receptionist as well as basically the thing.
So you guys got to know each other before you got.
Well, actually, she was working for the X-ray department when I first met her.
Ah. And now she works. Well, you're on.
Now she works for BDL, which is Electro Diagnostic.
Okay. 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 Here's a question out of that. The analogy is that I'm going to use is this: that I work for a school board, and Christmas vacation we got 2 weeks off, and everybody got sick virtually because the stress of getting the job done kept you focused. When you no longer had that, then you could feel the cold that you were putting off. And one of the things that I realized then and then after I retired was that I don't have a cold, but I feel like a cold is coming on, a pre-cold, okay? And then this amazing thing happened a few years later. I think I was over here when it happened. I moved here in 2004. I retired January 1st, 2002. And I think it was 2006. I moved here December of 2004. So I think it was 2006 when I discovered this. And people were getting sick because kids, you got grandkids, they give it to their grandparents, the parents, and then everybody gets it. And what I experienced was, I'd experienced a pre-cold a few times, and I was able to take the measures to not get a cold. And then I experienced the pre-cold. It was like another step before where I was aware that if I didn't do anything, I was going to go into the pre-cold situation. Okay? Now, I've heard people talk about, I feel like I'm getting sick, I feel like I'm getting a cold if they don't have it, but I never heard anybody talk about the pre-cold. And I didn't even know it existed until I experienced it. Okay. So, what I'm getting at is kind of an analogy is, you take your medication before you play. How long?
Sometimes just as long.
And so it only lasts for about 45 minutes to an hour.
That's when it starts swinging. It's a time release.
And when it clicks in, that's when you lose focus?
Yeah. I didn't do it before when I had I've got two medications. One, you know what the blood-brain barrier is?
Yeah.
Okay, well, the chemical that's in the pill has trouble getting across the blood-brain barrier.
Right.
So I get another pill which changes the radical, one of the radicals with that radical, and that goes through the blood-brain barrier easier.
Mm-hmm.
And so I get more buck from more boost.
You get more.
But what I find is happening is that it's not keeping up with what I can do with the table tennis.
Okay.
And sometimes, I've gone to table tennis, and the guys I'm beating are like the top group. and I'm just coming on, and they're going, where are you the other days of the week? You know, like, what's happened to you?
Right.
And then after about 3 or 4 sets, and we had sets up to 7,
Mm-hmm.
then I go and I'll play with somebody else, play with another group.
Okay, you say you have sets up to 7. That means you only play 7 points?
No, we had a group best of 7.
Oh, best of 7. So you're playing 4 out of. You get 4 games and you've won.
You get 3
4
games.
games.
3 games you won.
That's best out of 5, I think.
Oh, I think you get best of 5.
Yeah, because
Best of 5.
2,
Yeah.
you can go 2-2, and then the 5th game decides who wins.
That's right.
So best out of 5. Okay.
That's right. So I've noticed that, and there's an operation that you can get to that actually you don't have to take that second medication. It does, the brain does it by itself,
Right.
and it's just a simple little operation.
But what happens when you eliminate? Is it an elimination of brain-blood barrier?
No, it's just, well, I'm not sure. He's going to talk to them. The surgeon's going to talk to you before he does things.
And it's not a radical surgery. It's a
No.
well-known surgery, so
Well, no,
risks is very low.
it's a simple thing,
Mm-hmm.
supposedly.
So it's the second medication that's causing the problem.
I think so.
And how long were you taking the first medication? Have you been taking them both the same amount of time?
One I take 5 times daily.
Mm-hmm.
The other one, no, I just started it less than a year ago.
The brain-blood barrier one, and you just started less than a year ago.
Yeah.
Okay. And before you were using the brain-blood medication, brain barrier medication.
I was steadily getting better. Better.
So it sounds to me like it's that medication that's causing the problem.
Oh, yeah.
And if that's the case with that medication, then
So this medication wasn't doing what it's supposed to do.
yeah.
See, it sort of stopped.
Yeah, the adaptation phenomenon. Habituation, adaptation.
Try something. See this.
Is that the,
This is half as much.
okay.
I talked to someone with him,
Mm-hmm.
and he said you should try it.
Okay. We're still kind of early in the day. I don't know, it's 11 o'clock. Well,
I find it interesting because they've gone through and talked to people that have had medication, different kinds of medication. But I find that everybody's course is a little bit different.
yeah. That's why it's as much an art as it is a science.
He says that if I've got to do this or dance.
Did your wife dance?
Saved my life. Yes, she dances. I didn't tell her about dancing right.
Yeah, because dancing will help you with table tennis for your movement.
I'll do it.
Oh, it will.
But she'd want me to square dance.
I like
Ballroom
swing, waltz, foxtrot,
dance. So the
samba, tango, yeah,
Ballroom.
ballroom dancing.
Yeah, well, her mother teaches ballroom dancing, ballroom dancing. Her father teaches.
Oh, that's probably why, or that could be why she'd rather do square dancing. Okay,
Okay.
let's go back to,
And I think you need to warm up just a little bit. Just
Sure.
maybe begin to warm up.
the pigeon. Yeah, I noticed, let's see, I like your chops.
Nice job, Russ.
I'll give you a warm-up. The round of 108. The object is to get the ball across the net 108 times. If you miss, you stop, and you start over. Now, we don't have to go to 108. I've only been to 108 a couple of times in table tennis. I've been to 108 once or twice in tennis as well. But the cool thing about that is that I'm not trying to beat you with the point. I'm trying to cooperate with you. So instead of hitting it away from you, I'm hitting it to you. And if you hit it away, then I still hit it to you, and the same thing for you.
Right.
So I'm going to start it and see how many we can go.
Sure.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. 5. 5, 7, 9, 13, 15. 15, that's 10 more, you can get started. 2, 4, 6. That's okay. That was 7, I think. I don't even know what that was. 7, 9, 10, 12, 16, 20, 24, 26, 30, 33. Actually 32, I blew it on that. Okay, for more warming up, let's just do it a little faster. The object again is to get it over 108 times. We can either go faster for more warm up and blood flowing, or we can continue this until we get into a rhythm where we just keep going and going and going and see where we go next.
Well, I'll need some of my blood flow.
Okay. So you put it into the, and I'm going to take the pace off of how fast you serve it. Yeah.
I'm again that table.
Mm. Oh, Natalie got in the way. I think we're around 40. No, change your pace. Oh. 87. Natalie, what are you doing, baby? No. Went into that hyperspace dimension.
Somewhere.
Ah, 53. Natalie comes around. Well, I'll do that. You can't put it in play with the serve we were just practicing, like I did that the last few times.
What? 108?
108.
Oh. That was easy.
Yeah. Now, here's what I was thinking. With your medication, I don't know if you can do this, but you may be able to see when it comes in. You know, when the focus leaves. With an exercise like that, it's easy to tell. And all I'm thinking is, that's just a measuring device. You know, whereas in games it may be a little bit harder to measure, but you should notice the difference. The unfortunate thing is I don't think you have anybody there unless you teach them to do the 108. Because 108 is a really valuable exercise. Trains you on focusing to get the ball back.
Well, actually what I do is I go and play with the newbies. And I play, they don't play, you know, smash the ball and kill the serve.
Yeah.
And so I play with them, and I play, I'm under the table, I play from over there, I play everywhere.
Ah. So what level is the play that I've seen you playing so far? Is it, you know...
Newbies.
You've been, okay. Can you play like you play against the... right now, I mean...
I don't know. I don't really know. I never really know until I actually get into it.
Okay, then let's do this. We're into it. Got it. I serve, okay. I'm going to serve to you like I would to somebody that, you know.
Well, you better, because they don't let up on anybody.
Yeah. I'll pick up the yellow one. We don't need to see that anymore. And, oh, I already got that. Okay. Yeah, 1, 2. Ah, 3, 1. Wait a minute. I think the rule is if it hits an obstacle, that you lose the point.
That's right. Oh, yeah, you lose that point.
However, okay.
That's okay.
3, 1. Four, 1. 5, 1.
That serves as that. Humbug.
Or as we like to say in the trade, bah! Hair adjustment time. Okay, 6, 2. Seven, 2. That's a variation of the pendulum serve with no backswing and very little follow through. Whoa! Nice return, dude. It's 3, 7. Four, 7.
Oh, crap.
8, 4.
Oh. Thought I had one now.
9, 4. Mm, 9, 5. Nice pickup. Ten, 5.
you're waiting for that one.
Actually, I was hoping you'd hit it deeper.
I wanted to know. Do not hit it deeper. That's why I get screwed.
Well, you got to hit it low if you're going to hit it deeper. Okay.
Good shot.
Danke. Two of. Three of. Oh, four.
Good shot.
Thank you. I think it's 6-0.
Yeah.
Seven. Oh, wait. Oh, no. Ten. Okay, how are you playing?
Stuck up the place.
Excuse me? Yeah. How are you playing compared to what we were talking about?
Well, you have a different serve. I would have to get used to that, but you're one of the guys that I try to get on top of. But the only way I'm going to beat them is if I can outsmart them. I can get their serves back, and I can put it where I want it. And I wasn't able to grab a hold of the serve and to make it work.
And what I tried to do when you served was keep you from getting control of the ball when I hit it.
That's right.
So I don't have any idea how I compare to the players there.
I think you would fit right into the top echelon.
Okay, now here's the thing. Even though I'm left-handed, the serves that I'm giving you are classic serves at my level of skill, my skill level and a little bit higher. Okay? And I didn't let up in that second game because it wasn't that I was going to kill you. I was just trying to,
I have to see that.
Yeah. But I wasn't trying to clobber the ball all the time at all. I was just trying to get it back and get it back with a strong hit. Because I noticed, like in the first game, if I try too hard, then I miss.
That's right.
So it's just placement and doing something strong. Okay. Now the key question for me is, we know kind of where you put me in terms of the group of people there. Where have you put yourself in terms of the impact of the medication?
Well,
that's a toughie
I
because I'm new.
I don't know whether the medication would have helped with a lot of that. But some of it surely.
Okay, and the medication you just took, which is the primary medication, that'll kick in another 20 minutes?
Yeah,
and then your focus becomes clearer?
Sure.
Okay. Wow. Do your serves become any more potent?
No, I usually serve doubles, and it's a different game. I mean, I've always said that you don't learn very much by playing doubles. You learn a lot more by playing singles. But doubles does have its place.
Yeah. There are two things the thing that I feel I learned with doubles is footwork. and being aware to move around
Yeah, going to where the ball's going to be instead of where the ball is.
and getting out of your way of your partner.
That's how
And that's why lefty and righty are a very powerful combination, because both of their forehands are in the center of the court.
that's right.
And, you know, it doesn't matter if you hit it cross court to the lefty, then he's going to end up in front of the right-handed person, and he's got to move in that direction to move away, and then he's got to come around and move in. But you probably have many, since you don't have that many lefties there. What did Andres say? 7% of the population is left-handed. Some population, who knows? But you must be very versed. Are you versed? You're versed in statistics?
No,
Okay, so
no.
you're using canned programs to analyze the statistics, to do the statistics for you in the measurements. Yeah. Which, I mean, you can spend your life doing statistics and not get anything done. Whereas you're,
Oh,
yeah, okay.
And you don't-
So we won't know for a while. Now, I used the serves that I showed you that we practiced. And I also used some other serves, but I didn't do many forehand serves, and I didn't do a fast forehand serve. And one of the things I'll do is, like, Andres, if I serve cross court to his backhand from my backhand, a fast serve, he's hit it.
Yeah.
And so I go, well, I wonder if he can do that again. Because I know if he thinks he can get it past me, that he's going to try the same shot. Plus, it's coming so fast to him. And I have another theory, and that is that if I hit the ball hard, fast, and the person isn't quite ready, or I'm catching him, you know, unexpected, then the ball is going to come back directly where I hit it from, regardless of where I hit it or what I've got on it.
I try to hit it towards the person that hit it to.
Yeah, and for a right-hander, this is the best place to hit it. On the right side, for a left-hander, this is the best place. Because then they've got to figure out whether they're going to go backhand or forehand. And if you're serving, it's a very powerful place to serve, especially with the side spin serve, because the ball's going off in that direction, then it curves around, and if they're not ready for that side spin, then you just got them in their no-go zone. And the 11-0 isn't going to happen again.
Oh, it might.
It might, but I'm not trying to beat you. What I really want is, I'd like you to come away feeling that you've got some stuff you can take back with you.
Yeah. We've got one man there, in fact, I know him very well. But anyway, anything that comes over, he slams back, like,
Yeah.
well, you don't win anything from him as a player, because
Right.
he either wins or loses.
Yeah.
There's nothing between.
Well,
Unless you get back another 2 yards past where the
Right.
wall is.
and you can't do that. Well, we have a player here named, he's a Moroccan, I may have mentioned it before, his name is Molay, and he has some of the best flat strokes that I've seen. And I haven't seen people use flat strokes forever. You know, you don't put any tops, I haven't seen much spin coming out of you.
No.
Chop more,
Well, top spins are deadly. They get everyone.
really?
Yeah, top spins are not a competitive thing, and so you have to chop it. You have to get underneath it. If you do overhand, then it's just as a surprise, like
Okay.
a fast speed.
But I wouldn't say that's true among the better players, that class of players that you were talking about. Do they chop
Well,
when somebody gives them top spin?
Yeah, well,
Sometimes they do.
sometimes, yeah.
But a lot of times they'll just hit it. Do you know the block is an alternative to
Oh.
chop?
Oh. Well, I'm getting better at blocking.
Okay, and here's why I'm mentioning this. Your push drive it's easy to go from a block to that quick push drive. Because the block is a very similar shot. You don't have much backswing on that. You don't have much follow through. You're just bam, back. Done, it's over. Okay? So, this time, you didn't like the under the table, so call it. Okay, who serves?
You just say, sorry.
Want me to serve. This time I'm going to try, a whole variety of serve. 1-0. That serve is why I'm making these ball traps. Because I want to practice that, to have different kinds of spins. No. Okay. That was a nice sound. I think it's 3-0. You serve twice, it's 5-0. 6-0. Yeah. 1-6. Woo, 2-6. 7-2. 2-8. Net. 2-9. Let me see if it works. Yes. 2-9. 9-3. 9-4. 4-10. Game. Yes. 1-all. Two one. Very nice. That was that shot I was talking about. 2-all.
Oh, it hadn't been in place, and I said, you don't let me get there.
Usually I try not to. Two three.
Somehow I just didn't consider that going to 5.
Lefty backhand. 4-3. Net. Four, five. Right, 5-0. Net. Six, five. Serve here.
Right.
5-7. Six, 7.
Ah!
Didn't think I'd get there, eh?
I didn't think you could get one.
8-6. Nine, 6. Nine, 7.
Too close for that?
Is that game?
I was seeing, I think.
Okay.
A little bit closer.
Yep.
Look
Okay.
at it.
No. If you move about a foot towards your left, you would get those. The idea is that here, you really got to stretch to get there. This is about where you were standing. But here, you're one step here, and yeah. But here,
I'm out of luck.
you're out of luck. Okay.
There's one other guy, there's a couple of guys that do that, but I know who they are. They always put down that line if they can.
Mm-hmm.
So I do scramble back and get it back.
Right.
There are two of them, right?
Two of them that do that?
Yeah,
What?
two, yeah.
Okay, so what's the score? That's 1-0 or
Yeah.
2-0? 1-0.
1-0.
Ah. 1-0.
All right, I'm going to quit.
Excuse me?
I'm going to quit.
Okay. You want to play again? Net. Net. Two all. Two, three. Three all. Three, four. Four all. Buzz time. 4-5. Oh, I'm so lazy. Nope. You gotta roll towards the screen. There we go. 4-5. You're ahead. You wanna get in? Fives. Wow. 6-5.
Oh, sounded like a goal.
Mm-hmm. Sixes? Yeah, you got the first one. Sixes. Whoa, my own spin. 6-7.
I believe that brain, there's a little tiny chip inside every ping pong ball. One for the place of least likely to be found.
Yeah. Okay. 7-6. I just got that point.
I think on that makes it even.
7 up. Eight, 7. Seven, 9. Eight, 9. Nine all.
Oops.
9, 10. I like that serve. That was nice. Okay, serve here. One up.
Should kill that one.
Oh, 2. Uh-huh. Oh, 3. Whoa! Natalie came in.
Now the game is right.
1, 3. 3, 1. It's 3, 1.
Okay.
4, 1.
You know what I was trying to do there, right?
Short. Short. 1, 5. Huh. 2, 5. The edge comes through. Six, 3. 6, 3. Nice block.
Oh. tennis player.
Oh, close. 9-3. That's game. Okay. Chop drive. Slow chop drive, but still a chop drive.
Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky.
Those three. 4-0. Whoa! Hoisted by my own spin. 4-1. 1-5.
Push it.
6-1. You had some nice blocks in there though, except they were incredibly high. 6-1.
See, I go 10.
Yeah.
Right
Edge.
there. Red hit.
Yeah, 9-1. Ah, right. 9-2.
Nice for brilliance.
Nice catch. 10-2. Game. I need a refresh. So, what's the deal with the meds?
Well, I don't see the guy in July.
Okay, how about today? I can't tell. See, they were playing at such a different level that I can't tell whether they kicked in or not.
I didn't take the other one, I just took the one that, the plain one.
The plain one that, the second one is to get through the blood-brain barrier.
Yeah, but I did take that one, to do it.
Yeah.
Half of the other one.
Okay. Now, what would you like to do?
Take it to the night one, sorry for the cost.
Yeah, one of the great things I love about table tennis is that no matter how good you are, somebody can always beat you.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean consistently. I don't mean just once in a while. It's consistently. Alan Kaichi from Honolulu County. He must be approaching 50. I played him 2006. I went over there, spent about a week. Went to the different clubs because they've got something going on every day, except a couple of the clubs then were closed down. And Alan was the best player on the island.
Oh, yeah.
He He's a short guy, and he walks like an old man. But he goes, I'm not kidding, when he goes after a ball against one of the barriers, hunched over, slow, and picks up the ball, then he goes back, but he's like a cat. He can go from no motion. I've seen him backed up like 15 feet, and he jumps up in the air and hits the ball. We got like, whoa.
Yeah.
And he was the best player on the island until maybe about 3 or 4 years ago, and young studs came up. But when he wants to get points for his rating, before Len Winkler came here, he's the certified USATT coach and ITTF coach and referee. Before he came here, there were no USATT games played in Hawaii. Len, being a certified coach and referee, he can hold them. And so when Alan wants to get points for his rating, he goes over to the Big Island. And he went there, I think April they had a tournament. He picked up about 30 points in round robin. So, let's see. Where your serves are so slow and so short and so low that I'm not used to hitting that stuff. And what I'm trying to do is just do a strong return, not a hard return, but a strong return. A return where I feel I have authority over the return.
That's right. So you have some control over it.
Yeah, and I liked when I started top spinning to you. You didn't chop, you blocked. And I think you may have done one of your push drives when I did that.
Just a little
Yeah.
side push.
So, you know, I don't know how much you're getting out of watching me.
No, I get a lot out of playing people like you and like some of the better players is how I learned to deal with the serves.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't catch me off guard. Russ does it obviously.
Yeah.
But that's to be expected.
And I haven't done the short stroke serve yet.
No.
Because,
Well, we do have one fellow that does do short stroke serves.
yeah,
Very short.
and those are difficult to get back because you don't have that much time to read the serve.
That's right. And double is dead end.
Yeah.
And we've got another guy that chops everything. Everything. And even a full born slam, you know.
Yep.
I think he turned 92.
Really?
Yeah. He's a doctor of chemistry. Doctor of science.
Yeah. So you got an 88-year-old that whooped up on that one guy that you brought. A 92-year-old. Well, the thing that will make me stop this is my desire to travel, because I stop this and all of a sudden I can start traveling to the other islands and still save money and travel.
That's right.
And, you know, making contacts. I'm the only one that I know of. I mean, I haven't even gone out trying to find other tables. I know with Kalaheo Neighborhood Center where I used to play, they had 2 tables, the kids broke them both.
Oh,
But I can fix them. I've already done the
well,
fixing.
what are they? They're not butterfly.
No, they're cheap tables. And we'll play a few more. Let me see how much time we have left. Oh, 38 minutes. Okay, I'll play some different styles. what I've been trying to do against your short stuff is do a flat hit, not putting topspin on, and I just don't have the practice yet to gauge it. So your serves are really great for me, because I get to practice them. Okay. You want me to continue serving?
You just go ahead.
Good.
That's what we do now. And I know now I have to go a little bit higher than that.
You turn your racket up and lift, and you'll get it.
Yeah, I know. It's just knowing the angle and the amount of push.
Yeah, yeah. Net. Nice. Thank you. 2-all. 3-2. Still 3-2. That was the net serve.
Good.
1-3. Wait a minute. 2-4. That hit the edge. Your return. 6-2. 6-3. Yeah, but you know what you made me do?
What, put my hand up?
No. I was like this. I had to go like that to get to the ball. 3-7. Whoa. I'll take them. Those points mean I don't have to use energy. 3-8.
Oh.
Yeah. 9-3. 10-2. I know, Natalie came to my aid. Excuse me a second. Thank you, baby.
Yeah, you know, for me.
Oh, you got me.
Try to do it 6 times. Get one.
1-all.
Oh!
Wow, is that lucky or what? 2-1. Twos.
Humbug.
Yes. As we say in the trade, 2-3. Oh, come on, don't turn your racket up too much. 3-all. 3-4. squirrel. 5 for you. Five all. Five, six. Seven, five. Come on. I think it's clean. 7, 6. Seven up.
Weenie.
Seven, 8. Eight, oh. Eight, 9. Nine, oh.
Ah, I'm back.
9, 10. Okay. One up. I've never seen anybody serve like this at all. You notice what I'm serving?
Yeah.
I'm serving the forehand on the backhand side. And that's why I'm just learning it.
Well, a couple
One
of
off.
Chinese that do something similar to that.
Well, if they do this, then they can do both sides. And so that's about as close as you can get. But most of the Chinese now are using the back side of the racket on their backhand instead of, because you've got to do more manipulation to do this. So you notice the,
And they're almost always weak on that side high.
yeah, excuse me?
They're almost always weak on that side.
Yeah, on the backhand. Yeah, okay, that's 1 all. All right, 2-1. Your serve, yeah. 1-3. Two, 3. Net. 2, 3. I Irished out of it.
Ah!
Yep. Three, 4. Five, 3. Save that for the game. Aha! 5, 6. That's right. No. Yeah?
6 is 6 foot 5.
6, 5. Gotcha. I did it too. 6 all.
Oh!
I know. Don't you just hate that when it happens?
I hate that.
Seven all. Nothing does it like 7 all. 7 all. Oh, rats! I was hoping you'd get that.
I was hoping I'd get that too.
8, 7. Oh yes, there was your edge. 8 all. You got an edge on me there, Russ.
That's normal.
Nice. Woo! 8, 10. Nine, 10. Deuce. Add here. That was a nasty thing to do.
I'll say.
Okay,
Want me to serve you?
sure. Whoa, I just didn't wait just a smidgen longer. 1-0. Oh, 2.
Oh,
1, 2.
come on, Russ.
2 all.
No, look, number.
Wait a minute. 1, 2,
1, 2.
1, 3.
How's you looking?
Yep. 2, 3.
Oh, 2, 3.
Very nice. 3 all. Natalie helped you out, see? Natalie likes guests.
Yeah.
Sometimes she's fair, and sometimes she's balanced. 3, 4. Four. I know. See, that's that
That's that.
hyperspace transdimensional thing.
So my turn?
Yeah. 3, 5. I think it's
Yeah.
call a score.
You're about 5, 6. It's gotta be 6, 4, 6, 6, 5. It's 5,
6, 5.
5, 6.
5, 6. 7. No. 7, 6. 6, 8. Seven, 8. Nine, 7. What?
Change the line now.
Oh, okay. 10, 7. Net. Eight, 10. Yep. Oh, good. Okay. Oh, 1? I'm so calm. It rolled up your arm. 1 off. Oh man, you're hitting that thing with so little speed. 2, 1.
Making everything I hit back at it. I'm still a little tentative as far as my timing is.
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah. 4, 1. That's tough for a lot of right-handers. That serve I just did. You know, they got to play with me for a while. If I get the spin on it, they do exactly what you did.
Yeah, I'll get that pretty quick, I think. Cool.
Gee.
Where's the hiding? Where's the hole? Where's the hiding?
Yeah. 2, 5. Six, 2. Thank you, Natalie.
You're a good girl, Natalie. You know who's going to feed you tonight?
That's right. And who loves you, baby?
Right in the skin.
Okay. 7, 2. You're seeing a whole lot of different serves from me, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. What sword?
2, 8. Top drive.
I knew what I had to do. I just pushed you that way. But
2, 9. Oh, yeah. Gee, just a little more and I would have had it. But 9, 3.
Humbug.
Yeah.
Should have seen that one coming.
10, 3. You're not used to me.
No. But that's good. Anything that I learned is...
And I'm not used to your slow serves. And that's why I'm missing
I
them.
call those off-speed pitch.
Yeah. Like that.
I do that And I do that a couple of times, especially with the guys that expect it. And then I do the underneath another one.
Yeah.
Then they don't know what to do with it.
1-all. 2-1.
You know that if I'm going to get a handle on that, I'm going to.
I know.
The chances of
And then I get an opportunity to hit it back.
that's right.
That's the good part. 2-1. In the shoe. Yes!
2 points?
Not just 2 points. 5 points in the shoe.
3-1. Yeah.
So it's your serve.
And it's 1-3.
1-3. That was like a slow, lazy topspin.
That's right.
5-1.
All right. That's not yet.
Oh, I'm so kind. 5-2. Two six. Yeah. You tried me nasty.
Yeah, I tried.
Back fire.
I tried.
Oh yeah. I'm really grateful for you. 3-6.
Oh!
Sometimes if you keep doing it to them, they can get it back.
Yeah. What's the score?
7-3. Serve here.
Close.
8-3. 3-9. I got it. Three 10. Oh, I was so impatient. 10-4, over and out. Thank you, Natalie.
Natalie.
Yep.
When are you going to learn?
One up. One off. Two ones. I gave you back better than you gave me. Only because you gave me that. Two all.
I tried.
Yep. Natalie.
Natalie. Equal time here.
Your time will come. 3, 2.
Yeah.
Yep.
shouldn't do that.
I don't think you should. But I can use the practice because I've been pretty bad at that stuff. 2-4. Really good. You got that hole in my racket. Perfect.
I don't know how I missed.
Really? Going somewhere. 5-3.
Oh!
6-3. Ooh. 46. Ooh. 56. Six all. $76.
Oh!
Yeah, I was trying to fake you out on that one. First one was a heavy chop, that one was just a top. 6-8.
Oh! Missed again.
6-9. $10-6. Guess what?
Watch that here.
Pearl.
Pearl.
And what's her daughter's name?
Cheryl. And,
Cheryl?
and Dan.
Dan and a little baby?
Oh.
Bo! As in B-E-A-U. Okay.
So when do you want to come back?
Monday,
Monday?
Andres will be here,
Okay, that'll
and
be
so
good.
you get a chance to
Maybe we'll play a couple of games with 2-on-1.
Canadian. What do they call it in Canada? We call it Canadian in the South
Really?
in the States.
I don't know what to call it.
I learned it first in tennis as Canadian. And then we did it in lady, let me open the door for you.
Thank you guys, sir.
You're very welcome. He's teaching me a lot.
Is he?
Oh yeah.
Now, he waxed my ass for you. There's a few that he hasn't conquered yet, and so
He's got a really nice slow serve,
Yeah.
and I haven't got those down yet. Also, the only way I'm able to hit his high balls is to let them drop, and then I can hit them.
Yeah.
And if they go too deep, then I've got to get him high and do a chop drive.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't have any speed on him, then it's like, what do I do now? So, thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate it.
well, Monday?
Monday?
Yeah, Monday if I can, and if I can't, I'll phone you.
Okay.
I'm sure you'll phone.
And I know I've been married myself, so these things have to be okay too. The boss!
I'm not sure who's the boss in this group.
Well, you got family
Bull might
and
be
you got to
the
do
boss.
things.
Bull might be the boss.
The grandson.
Oh yeah, he's definitely the boss with his parents.
I know, he's sick all night.
Yeah, and that's when they show that you're really the boss. You get worried, you gotta,
Oh, yeah.
watch, and then if you're lucky, both the parents trade off.
Yeah,
If you're not, then the father's a klutz.
well, sometimes he's a klutz.
Well, that should be expected from guys. That's why I like
That's
women much
exactly
better
right.
than I do men.
There you go.
Women will show you how they feel. I like to think women are more honest and open. I mean, I know there's good reasons.
Always, yeah.
Yeah. And one of the things I learned from my first wife was just because they're sharing their misery doesn't mean you have to try to fix it.
That's right.
It's best to listen.
Listen, that's all.
It's called, in psychology they call it catharsis.
Okay, yeah.
Purging.
Purging, yeah.
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 Well,
So,
I hope you make it. I would like, between the time you're leaving to see you 3 more 2 more, whatever we go with is fine with me, but, I hope I'm helping you, because you're definitely helping me.
You're helping me a lot. I'm getting serves that I've never seen before.
Yeah. And it's not that my serves are that much different. It's just that you don't see them, I guess, at the club. Oh, this is one of these running home. Can I call you back in about 3 minutes? Okay, aloha. Well, thank you for, oh yeah, your water. I've already got 2 from Ellie. Eli, I mean. ELI. He's from Pui. He's a local. Pui is where the community college is. Did you get to art night?
No, we
Did you
didn't
take
actually
I went to Luau.
Smith?
No, the other one.
Okay, Smith is great because when you go to Smith, they have a really beautiful garden,
Mhm.
and they take you around to see the garden.
Yeah.
Also, there's the Smith Wailua River Boat Tour, which is a different entrance.
I go to Furry Garden or a different one?
I think it does. I think that's where it is. A place where people used to get married.
Yeah.
I think they don't want people to go up there much anymore because of the traffic has spoiled the foliage.
Yeah, probably.
Monday, I hope. If you can't do it, fine.
Monday sounds good.
Yeah.
If I'm not,
And if it's easier, 10 o'clock is fine, or 9:30, whichever is easier on you.
10 o'clock's a little bit easier. Because,
Yeah, you're on the North Shore, and yeah, you got time, and you got kids, and all that kind of stuff. I have a saying. The most important word in Hawaiian is 2 words that are absolutely incredible. One of them is aloha, and that's like the loving spirit, or the spirit of love. The second one is ohana. Ohana, O-H-A-N-A. That's family and extended family. You know, all the aunts and uncles, there weren't really aunts and uncles when you were a kid?
Yeah.
Yeah, and what comes first is ohana. And it comes with aloha.
Yeah.
So, and that's, to me, this is my ohana. Because I really like all the people here, and except for me.
Yeah.
And
that's a big thing.
Oh, yeah.
More important than anything else.
And, like Kurt and Tia next door, they work at the Sheraton, the Grand Sheraton down in Poipu. And they've got a 13-year-old and an 11-year-old, 13-year-old girl. And they're really into sports. Now talk about focusing. Kurt goes pig hunting with a bow and arrow.
Okay.
But he doesn't have any time to practice. So he's out there and he'll be shooting the bow for like 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And he likes golf. He'll do his golf swings for 5 or 10 minutes. And if I'm here and he's doing the bow and arrow, he doesn't hear anything. He is so focused that that's all he experiences.
Yeah.
And he's been a real inspiration to me.
I was a champ.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
used to play champ stuff. I would focus on everything.
Well, you still can focus out everything when you're doing
So I
certain
can't do
things.
it in bridge. I can't do it in chess anymore because the one that I was in a tournament
Mm-hmm.
and the top guy struck over the whole place and it smelled so horrible.
So when you do that focus, you smell the smell.
So I just packed up my stuff and all that.
What is the, there's a therapy, it's Volpe, I think is his name. It's retroactive, let me see, reciprocal inhibition, okay? What you have is the fear of somebody throwing up,
Yeah.
which loses your focus. And so what they did with reciprocal inhibition was they had people who were afraid of flying, and they would take them through steps. What's the least fearful step?
Yeah.
They would teach them relaxation techniques first, how to get into a calm space. And then they'd have the people list the steps, thinking about making a reservation, or thinking about some place you had to go by plane.
Yeah.
And then calling up for a reservation. And then packing. And then going to the airport. And then, all the way up to sitting in the plane. And so some technique like that would probably fix your,
Probably would.
yeah. But we've got other things to do.
Well, I chess with, I could do chess when I go to night.
Yeah.
I can't do table tennis when I go to night.
Yeah. Well,
I know Dave trying to text that.
Wheelchair table tennis.
Oh, really? Oh,
Oh, yeah.
I've seen it on TV, but I haven't. I remember one lady, she was in a lady called Lady, she was going, I can't hit the ball if you hit it away from me. And the lady looked at her. Anyway,
Well,
she
you
was,
read-
she was upset because people were hitting it to her, they were hitting it away from her.
Yeah. We went through, Russ is the third person that I've been able to do the round of 108. The round of 108, you try to hit the ball to the person, and it's got to go to the next 108 times.
Wow.
And if you miss, you get to start all over. We started over about 5 times. 6 times it's done. We got it. And that's one of the things I would do with the newbies.
Yeah.
When you're with them.
Yeah, they do that.
You hit it back and forth without,
Yeah, and we didn't go for stronger hits.
No.
At the beginning of it, you just try to get it back.
Just get it across the net, get it across the net, get
Yeah.
it across the net. And then we tell them that, okay, now learn to make a proper serve.
Mm-hmm.
Throw the ball up
well,
and hit it.
you
Throw
gotta
the ball
start
up,
with
hit it.
basics. I mean,
Yep.
that's all there is to it.
Well, we were working on some of that today with serves. And next time you're here, we'll work a little bit with serves again.
And I'll, when I go home, I'll practice it. I'll get up the ball. If we have a slow day, I'll get up the balls and.
So I'll tell you one last thing before you head out. The serve that I was having you do, backhand serves are much easier than forehand serves because the ball's right in front of you. Okay, whereas forehand serves is off to the side. And that's why so many people serve backhand. Once you get the feeling of the backhand, this is a pendulum. England swings like a pendulum too, and then when you come to America, you do a tomahawk like the Indians do. That's a tomahawk. Tomahawk serve, like that. Okay, once you get the feeling for that, then how does that work on the forehand? Because it's the same thing, it's a pendulum. But the ball and the racket have to be in the same relationship as on your backhand. But instead of having the ball curve like that on the forehand, the ball's going to curve like that on the backhand. Excuse me, like that on the backhand, then it's going to curve like that on the forehand. If I do it right-handed, instead of curving like that on the backhand, it's going to curve like that on the forehand. But the stroke is basically the same. And so then it's the timing for getting the ball in position to do it. Now, if we make it, I hope that we get there before you go. If you're here 3 times, the odds are very high that we'll get there. If you're here twice, we may get there. I'd say a 20% chance if you're here twice, probably an 80% chance if you're here 3 times. And what I'd really like to do is turn your block into a drive, but I don't think we're going to have time to do that.
Any movement.
Not that much. Not that much, because the block, you've got a push block drive, which is very quick, and what I'm doing is actually, I would have you make it a longer stroke, because with the block, plain block, it's block and push are the same. Push is like that, block is like that. They have very little backswing. You put the ball into position, or you put the racket into the position, hit the ball, and then you hit it with follow through. Push is the same way. Now, a topspin, you have backswing and you follow through. No backswing in the block. In the push, it's an under thing. You put the racket in position and you hit through. You follow through. A chop, you come up here with backswing, and then you come down and put a whole lot on it.
There's so much to remember.
Actually, I've broken it down and it's remembering, but, I share these kind of things a couple of times. Like what I did, remember with the ball, and I said, underspin, topspin, side spin, under, or underside, side under, side over, overside, over. And so that's pretty easy to remember once you get it fixed in your mind. It's the pattern. Hey, you have a wonderful day, lady.
I will, you too.
And thank you again. Let me open the door for y'all.
Well, I'm pretty sure I can make that Monday.
Sure, we'll get it back here, man.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
All right. You have a good day.
Oh, you too. I hope you can get to the beach with good weather.
Supposed to be coming, hot coming, supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends.
On the west side, it would probably, there's probably don't have any clouds at all right now.
Yeah.
It's very dry, comparatively.
Well, it didn't have any rain yesterday.
Yeah. Over on the west side?
We went out there and it didn't have any rain.
Yeah, it stops at Kalaheo. Ali, forget it, no rain.
Yeah.
Bonjour, aloha. Hi. Thunder. Wow.